for computers form factors both larger and smaller than desktop personal computers. See List of computer size categories. In computing, the form factor is the specification of a motherboard, the dimensions, power supply type, location of mounting holes, number of ports on the back panel, etc. Specifically, in the IBM PC compatible industry, standard form factors ensure that parts are interchangeable across competing vendors and generations of technology, while in enterprise computing, form factors ensure that server modules fit into existing rack mount systems. Traditionally, the most significant specification is for that of the motherboard, which generally dictates the overall size of the case. Small form factors have been developed and implemented. Overview of form factors. A PC motherboard is the main circuit board within a typical desktop computer, laptop or server. Its main functions are as follows: to serve as a central backbone to which all other modular parts such as CPU, RAM, and hard drives can be attached as required to create a computer, to accept different components for the purposes of customization, to distribute power to PC components, to electronically coordinate and interface the operation of the components. As new generations of components have been developed, the standards of motherboards have changed too. For example, with AGP being introduced, and more recently PCI Express. However, the standardized size and layout of motherboard have changed much more slowly, and are controlled by their own standards. The list of components a motherboard must include changes far more slowly than the components themselves. For example, North Bridge controllers have changed many times since their introduction, with many manufacturers bringing out their own versions, but in terms of form factor standards, the requirement to allow for a North Bridge has remained fairly static for many years. Although it is a slower process, form factors do evolve regularly in response to changing demands. The original PC standard was superseded in 1995 by the current industry standard ATX, which still dictates the size and design of the motherboard in most modern PCs. The latest update to the ATX standard was released in 2007. A divergent standard by chipset manufacturer VIA called EPIA is based upon smaller form factors and its own standards. Differences between form factors are most apparent in terms of their intended market sector, and involve variations in size, design compromises and typical features. Most modern computers have very similar requirements, so form factor differences tend to be based upon subsets and supersets of these. For example, a desktop computer may require more sockets for maximal flexibility and many optional connectors and other features on board, whereas a computer to be used in a multimedia system may need to be optimized for heat and size, with additional plug-in cards being less common. The smallest motherboards may sacrifice CPU flexibility in favor of a fixed manufacturer's choice. Comparisons, tabular information, graphical comparison of physical sizes. Maximum number of PIPI slots, ATX case compatible, visual examples of different form factors, PC/104 and EBX. PC/104 is an embedded computer standard which defines both a form factor and computer bus. PC/104 is intended for embedded computing environments. Single-board computers built to this form factor are often sold by COTS vendors, which benefits users who want a customized rugged system, without months of design and paperwork. The PC/104 form factor was standardized by the PC/104 consortium in 1992. 3. An IEEE standard corresponding to PC/104 was drafted as IEEE 996.1, but never ratified. The 5.75 A8.0 were an embedded board expandable specification, which was derived from Ampro's proprietary little board form factor, resulted from a collaboration between Ampro and Motorola Computer Group. As compared with PC/104 modules, these larger SBCs tend to have everything of a full PC on them, including application-oriented interfaces like audio, analog, or digital I/O in many cases. Also, it's much easier to fit Pentium CPUs, whereas it's a tight squeeze to do so on a PC/104 SBC. Typically, EBXS PCs contain the CPU, upgradable RAM subassemblies, flash memory for solid-state disk, multiple USB, serial, and parallel ports, board expansion via a PC/104 module stack, off-board expansion via ISA and/or PCI buses, networking interface, and video. Mini PC. Mini PC is a PC small form factor very close in size to an external CD or DVD drive. Examples: OpenXC Mini, Apple's Mac Mini, Intel's next unit of computing. See also, hard disk drive form factors, small form factor, references. External links: the official Intel form factors website containing form factor descriptions.